Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the glorious sun-drenched sands of the Praia da Rocha here in Portimão on the south coast of Portugal. We are into the mixed semi-finals and I am positively vibrating with excitement. The tournament's only two undefeated teams in this division slugging it out for a spot in tomorrow's showcase final. You will not want to miss a second of this one. Benjamin Rees, delighted to be joined in the booth by Liam Grant. Liam, what a game we have in prospect.
Yeah, they've looked like the best two teams in the mixed division. As you said, undefeated. Guayota have been stomping their way through the mixed division. I think the Bulls, the only team from USA to put up double digits on them, 10. We saw an exciting game already in the live stream of Freezgo. They've entertained us once before. Had that Universe point win against Boracay. Boracay playing in the other mixed semi-final against Margarita Mix. Both those teams have lost games, but one of them is going to the final.
It feels a little bit cruel, doesn't it, on one of these, that they'll have only lost once, but they're not going to make it when other teams who, you know, have looked a little bit flawed might potentially have that final spot. Keep an eye.
It was Freezgo's who beat Boracay.
It was
Guayota who beat Margarita Mix.
So there you go. A couple of players. You saw there Patricia Gonzalez Navasa for Guayota, who is just a natural finisher, and for Freezgo, the young starlet Canton Perchard, who was a huge part of their back-to-back World Junior Ultimate Championship Finals appearances. He's been supreme on the sands for Freezgo this week. On what is a ridiculously stacked team, the 19-year-old has 7 assists and 28 goals. That's unreal.
Yeah, this is a young French squad. And as we've seen, French Ultimate on the rise. We see Enzo Forget, one of the captains of the side. He's a young player as well. His sister Zoe also on the team. Ready at a young age, taking on a big leadership role.
Yeah, I mean, I expect that we will see a fair number of these players in the WFDF Beach Falls Showcase at the end of the week after all 3 finals have wrapped up. But for the players out there at the moment, there's only one task at hand, and that task is sealing a spot in the final tomorrow morning. Who will it be? Well, the only way of finding out is by watching, and there is Patricia Gonzalez, just a real all-around player.
Navasa sisters showing up here in the mixed division from Guayota, almost a family affair, very close-knit group, this Guayota side, and they're the last Spanish team standing in contention for a gold medal. A few other Spanish teams get eliminated early, but the Canary Islanders in it to win it still. As we see, Simone Ruel is going to pull for the French. It's Guayota coming out on offense, and the first point will be a male matching point.
Yeah, Guayota won the flip for offense and decided to pick offense, and Freezgo opted to start in the left-hand end zone, and when they flipped again, it came up Freezgo's way, and they elected to start with 3 male matching players. We'll switch after this first point, and then every 2 points after that. The dominant on-pitch gender also is pulling, which is why Simon Ruel pulls. And we're in play here in the mixed semi-final from the inaugural World Beach Ultimate Club Championships, the German Spiegel. It's an option inside, going downfield, popped off. Spiegel once more. Resets. Clutched by Diaz. And now Spiegel running the show offensively. A big fake, gets the mark biting. It's not quite in the end zone yet, though. Doctor. Little shake and bake in the handler space from Diaz. Now Patricia Gonzalez Navasa goes back to Doctor. Trying to sling that low forehand into the end zone. Spears it onto Marta Ortiz, who is a real weapon in her own right, and it's Guayota with a clean hold to start.
Sebastian Spiegel zips one into the end zone. He's going to be running the show for this Guayota team. The German man now living in Tenerife for quite some time. Nearly going every other pass here as we see him working that inside channel. Was on that German World Game squad. Hard to know if he'll be on it next time, and can he commit to the traveling back to the motherland. He's got a child himself now, so
worried to were he available to make the commitment, you've got to think he'd have a good shot at making again. And in the end, they came up empty-handed from the World Games, lost out in the bronze medal match to Colombia, but they had that sensational stomping victory over the USA that really laid a marker down at the start of that tournament.
Spiegel throwing us a shaka and throwing an assist there in the opening point.
I suspect it will not be the last, as that pull, you see what the intention is, get the edge, make sure they can't attack it early, but it did not get the edge, and it lands well out of bounds and on the chair. Didn't realise this was a trick shot video.
The disc needed a bit of rest after a lot of work today, and that one's going to... See, switching of discs here as we're getting a white disc, which Felix Schadler will be happy to see on the live stream.
Yeah, I wonder if this is just a force of you know, second nature, where you just pick up the white disc rather than the pink one.
It looked like the pink disc was having a bit of a sit down and rest, and Forget decides I'd leave it where it is.
Blanchard wants to find Forget as the reset and does. Enzo to younger sister Zoe. Already captured 1 gold medal this campaign for the French junior women. And that one sat up from the end zone from Forget. And Blanchard, to quote the great philosopher Louis Armstrong, had all the time in the world.
Interested to see if we stay with the white disc here. Haven't seen too much of it this week.
Before the game, I didn't see the captains agree to using a white disc rather than a pink one. But they, of course, I am not omnipresent, so they might well have done away from my prying eyes. Highlighted Pechard before the game, and that's exactly why, because yes, he can throw it to the big guns, but as well, when he's around the end zone, he's got that presence of mind, the field awareness, and it just sat up there on the breeze, and you see Pechard look behind him. How free was I?
Forget just teasing one out to him. Almost looked like he went for the no-look catch there. Perhaps just delaying it ever so slightly, but the French playing with flair right now.
And that's what they're all about. They will play with a little bit of a swagger almost, not just a confidence. Spiegel, so they're just resetting in the backfield with Diaz. Couple of cutters coming into the same space. Abraham tried to sag off into it, and that availed the swing to Spiegel, but at the moment there's nothing happening downfield. It's all handler led. Finally they get a huge gainer underneath to Ortiz. Shake of the head there from Diaz. Trying to be aggressive, take it on high stall. That was just a case of turn it over down the other end, because no one is going to get anywhere near that.
Not sure what Sergio Diaz was thinking there. Had Spiegel free on the dump, doing that classic German style dumper, running it around the back when they've given him that break side shot, and decides to launch it to no man's land. Yeah, and why did he look up that shot to Spiegel? I don't understand. He had a sensational game last time we live streamed Guayota, but first break opportunity goes to Freezgo.
Yeah, you mentioned that we have seen the Canary Islanders already this week. They had a big victory over Margarita Mixed, who are in the other semi-final, against Boracay.
And Freezgo have beaten both teams in the other semi-finals, so they've made a statement already in this division. And we're back to pink disc.
Margarita Mixed 1-0 up in the other semi-final, by the way, as that one, miscommunication downfield, doesn't collect with Lisson Bourneau. And Diaz this time is going to say, Basti, that one's yours.
Andrea Corretto comes bolting out of the gates to win it right back for Guayota.
Setting up the isolation at the front of the end zone, curling it around Eva Bourneau. It's not going to be in the end zone, but it is going to stick. And Marta Ortiz with her second goal of the game. It wasn't a clean hold for Guayota, but they got it back on the very first pass.
Guayota showing that their O-line might turn it over, but they can certainly win it back. So just trading for now. Interested to see what our viewers at home think of the pink disc or the white disc. Let us know which one you prefer.
Yeah, those of you who have been scanning the live portion of the WBUCC website, as I know I have been locked to all week, there's been a feature where you can also have a little poll before the game on who you think is going to win. Let me tell you, the general population thinks this is going to be a lot more one-sided than we do, because 66-16 in favour of Freezgo. I would be very surprised if the game ends up being that one-sided either way. But obviously there's a huge French contingent back home who really backs the youngsters as the pull backs them into the back corner. First pull then to Case Mate. Popped back to Enzo Forget, uncorks it. He's looking for Pechard, just about evades the defender as Pechard spins to catch. Now back to Lachi, a relative veteran on this roster. Mate now curling it in front of Lachi as they run the give-go. Pechard calling for calm at the front of the end zone. Nothing going on downfield for the moment. Enzo Forget comes out to try and provide an option. Pechard wanted it back corner. He's not going to get it though. Forget, the little okey-doke no pivot backhand. Right at the front cone now is Mate. The little flip in is there? No, it's all very congested and cluttered. It's like Spaghetti Junction back there, but they're able to find Canton Pechard. Pechard to Forget for the score. Another clean Freezgo hold.
Smooth, silky offense from Freezgo. Great patience outside the end zone, but then that French connection successful once again. Enzo Forget, we're talking about World Game players. Wonder what the odds are to see one, possibly two Forgets on that World Games roster next year. Keeps playing like this, it's going to be hard not to pick him.
I believe France have selected a squad of about 24 players that they're having a tryout for. I think they are both on it, to the surprise of approximately nobody. Enzo Forget will have a huge offensive impact for Freezgo, coming into this game with 28 assists and 5 goals. Well, make that 29 and 6.
Guayota slow to field that pull.
You don't want to give an athletic defense like Freezgo a chance to pin you deep, and they're looking long, looking very long. Can Parla catch up? No, he can't. Superbly ripped down by Diaz. Diaz across to Spiegel. Oh, this is floaty. This is not dangerous at all. Never any doubt. Spiegel firmly in position. Quentin Roger is trailing, and it's 3-2.
Spellbinding stuff from the Spaniards. Were pinned back their own end zone, but not afraid to chuck it. As we saw that big backhand look. I think that's Spiegel adjusting his hair.
Yeah, not a hair out of place. There's the deep chop. Looking for Diaz. Getting separation from Parla, and he reads it well. Rips it with the left hand as well, so he can just take it that split second earlier. And then this one will tail towards the back of the end zone. But Guayota players were celebrating even before Spiegel had made the catch, because they knew there was no doubt he would bring it in.
Again, teasing one to the end zone. Not afraid to use that big buttery biscuit as well to get him out of trouble. Spiegel usually throwing the goals, but catching that one, that was just backing up your teammates.
Already a goal and assist for Bastien Spiegel. Maybe a slight miscommunication on the field of the pool there. The first pass is to Cais Mate. Pechard comes underneath on the near sideline. Zoe Forget can't get free. Not much going on downfield. Still count is rising. You've got to put it up. They're putting it up to Forget. Can she track it? The bit! Oh my goodness! Zoe Forget.
Magnificent, outstanding stuff from Forget. Didn't think she had a chance of that one, but you should never doubt Zoe Forget, the world champion, showing what she's made of here.
It feels like it's too much ground, but obviously they know her speed better than we do. And she churns up the sand here. Carretero's trailing close, but no cigar. And Forget celebrates. Peshar thought maybe you could have turned to maybe just see if you could isolate a reset. I guess when you have Zoe Forget, you kind of don't really need to.
We've been talking a lot about Enzo Forget, but Zoe says, don't you Forget about me. They've been doing it all tournament long. Both teams not afraid to send it deep. And that one, a first pass turnover from Guayota, giving Freezgo a short field.
It feels like this could be very treacherous territory. What can Freezgo do? The first pass is done back to Juliette Bertrand. Not seeing too much separation downfield. Can she squeeze it through to Laurent Beaulieu? She can. Now Eva Borneau. Back. And oh, the flipper forehand. The greatest, surely not. Into the hands of Lisson Borneau. It's all Freezgo right now. The French in fine fashion with the 4-3 lead. Unreal.
What an exceptional greatest. Can't wait to have a look at that one again. The short field turner from Guayota, gifting Freezgo some good field position. But it's a sensational play. A hurricane or tornado all wrapped up into one. That looks like a valid greatest. A wobbler to the middle of the field, but backing it up is Borneau.
Well, both Borneaus essentially were there on the spot. It would have been the worst thing if they both went for it and ended up blocking each other, but the communication, elder sister Lisson has the bragging rights there and just waits for the supreme greatest from Mati Abraham. I mean, come off it. The presence of mind even to go for it and then to execute it like that. That is elite ultimate for you. Quentin Roger goes lefty for the pool that blades and lands just shy of the end zone before it is fielded. How did Guayota respond to being broken for the first time? Underneath to Sebastian Spiegel. Marta Ortiz glides down the center, dishing it off. Guayota are moving. Freezgo are aware of the quick, short game that the Spaniards love. Patricio Gonzalez Navassa. Going back in the backfield. Diaz blading around. Trying to force them into a more workmanlike possession here. Stop the flow, but they stop it superbly. Where did Simon Ruel come from?
Ruel shuts the gate, he's gone deep now.
And now they're trying to open it to Ruel. He sees it late and he just couldn't quite get there. If he'd seen it the split second earlier, the way he's been playing, you could be sure it would have gone to hand. As it is, he just couldn't locate it quickly enough. Maybe looking back into the sun. Tota. Downfield to Ortiz. Guayota again trying to get this signature short game going. Diaz jinks and jives his way free as the reset. Goes for the offhand. Pinging it to the end zone to Sebastian Spiegel for the score. Guayota tie it up. But I bet they feel the Freezgo heat right now.
Really enjoyed that Spiegel versus Roger matchup. Two World Games handlers going head to head there. And Crash, as he's known affectionately to his friends, not afraid to send it. And as you said, Ruel had separation, just couldn't find the disc in the end. So we're going to hold on.
There's the block from Ruel, I mean. I don't think anyone necessarily saw that coming, and he just looks over the wrong shoulder first. If he looks over the right and you think he gets a better spot on it, he might well get it because he came mighty close anyway, and then just playing short, slashing across the front of the end zone is Spiegel for the score, 4 apiece.
This is just what we expected, a nail-biter of a semi-final in the mixed division.
The pool has got plenty of hang time on it, and Forget watches it fall over his head before picking up. Kais Mate. Forget very static downfield, so he dishes it off, and Forget's going, and Mates is driving it down the strip in Portimão, but it's too far.
A chance for Guayota to break back now. Let's see what the Canary Islanders can do.
The Guayota Open and women's teams making their presences very keenly felt in the stands. Underneath to Sanchez. Again, trying to keep it moving quickly. The talismanic Gabaldoni shooting towards the back of the end zone. They've got the one-on-one. And it bounces off Toscano's hands. Forget with the phantom defense.
I felt like they were almost already celebrating that one. Looked like an inch perfect hook, and it was. Just couldn't reel it in. Heartbreak for the Guayota D-line. They're going to have to try and do it again. You see the split stack here from Freezgo. Lachi isolated on the near sideline.
The first misstep for Freezgo's offensive line, and they just about get away with it. Enzo Forget is putting it deep again. This time he's looking for Pechard. Pechard really springs off the sand like there's flubber on his feet. Forget looking for Mate. Did he hop it into the end zone? That will be the question.
And they look to the crowd for a signal. I think the Fui supporters getting involved. Did look like he was in from up here.
Certainly everyone on the field was happy enough that Mate had timed that hop into that front line, and Freezgo back on top. But this game is so tight, Liam.
Break opportunity goes a-begging for the Guayota side. Shout out to everyone watching in France, Tenerife, and all over the world. As we see Oscar, fortunately ending up on the ground there. He had the difficult matchup, but I feel like every matchup is difficult in this game.
In the other semi-final going on the field just behind the stands, Margarita Mixed have a 4-3 lead on Boracay. Pull fielded then by Diaz. Stilter underneath. Carretero rocking the score, slinging it downfield. As the pink Eurodisc in her possession once more. Thought Diaz was going to pull the trigger the first time, didn't need to. Carretero providing the backup, and his fives. That was lightning fast.
Sergio Diaz punching it in, as you said. A couple of quick jabs in there in the end zone. That's what they're known for, Guayota. Freezgo chasing shadows in that last possession, and when they play offense like that, nobody can stop them. And I was at the tournament in Tenerife, Dr. Sands and Mr. Grass this year. Guayota would have been favorites to win it. Day one is on grass, and they got knocked out in day one, lost all their games. Then went on to win all their games on sand. It's clear they're a beach team.
Yeah, we've seen Spain have more of a presence on the grass recently, thinking about Quixotes knocking off Clapham in the pools at EUCF last month. And Guayota won the first EUCF Elite invite in 2022, beat Sesquidistas in the final. But yes, certainly predominantly a beach nation, and looking forward to going back to the Canary Islands next month for another of their fine tournaments, CFC, although that one's in Lanzarote. Pechard pops it to Zoe Forget. She's got her brother in the backfield and uses him. Wonder if he'll take the swing to Lachi, and does. There's the break continuation to Pechard, but it's not going. Lachi instead going back open side. Forget slings it again, looking for the inside out shape. Pechard in position. Oh, he misread it. Got suckered in to going underneath it, and Guayota can get us back on serve.
This is a huck-happy Freezgo side, and they're not afraid to play with fire, but let's see if their other D-line can burn them here.
Yeah, they had one previous possession, and they could not capitalize. Both O-lines have turned it over twice so far. Gabaldoni brings in and swings, going wide. Alba Diaz. Again, keeping it tight on the sideline. The trigger's pulled. It's perfect, inch perfect to Jose Gabaldoni as he streaks the length of the field for the Guayota score. They break back at 6-5.
All the way from downtown. Guayota get their first break of the game, and we are back on serve, Benji. This game on a knife's edge already. You feel one moment could win it for either team. As we see this one again, Gabaldoni eating up the sand.
You see it from the drone angle as well. Crashes all the way from the other side of the field, slashing across, and leaves Forget spitting sand. And that is no mean feat.
Gabaldoni has done the hard work, and he's got the clipboard as well, has a leadership role on this team. A talisman of this Canarian outfit. Forget back out there. He's sucking in the warm air. It's a tiring sport, beach ultimate.
Yeah, Guayota won mixed at EBUCC, the European Club Championships here in Portimão a couple of years ago. And then last year in the Sands of Florian, well, they didn't do mixed, so they just won open and women's instead. Not a bad record. Pick is called, but looks like Diski's going to stay here with Canton Pechard. Checks it in. Forget trying to burrow underneath, doesn't see it, so gets the high release. Breaking around to Kais Mate. They've used both Bourneau sisters as the female matching players at this point. Have the French. Pechard takes off deep, but he stopped. Throw went anyway. Can he track it? Oh, the Pechard clap catch layout. He seeded position and he stole it back. And at sixes, we're going to Galaxy Point.
You gotta love it, folks. Looks like a bit of a nosebleed for Pechard. He had to wrestle his way into position for that one, and he felt like it was going to be blood, sweat, and tears in this mixed semis. So we've got blood and sweat already. We'll see who's crying at the end of this one. Could be tears of joy or sadness.
I feel like there will be tears on both sides. Let's be real here. This is what Freezgo can do. Even when they have those miscommunications, they're able to have the recovery that so many sides are not.
Pechard did not have position when that disc went up. He'd come back under and literally had to sidestep around throughout the defender, and it was a real wrestle. It was just wanted it more.
So Galaxy Point then. Freezgo will receive coming out of half, so they would love to break here. The pull arcing towards the back corner. Is it going to drop in bounds? Not quite. Millimeters away from perfection as it is. It's a free brick. Pablo Dota has the honors.
A gift for the Guayota side. They'll get some free yards as they walk it up to the brick mark.
Kais Mate is waiting there. Marta Ortiz streaks across the field. Pumps the backhand, doesn't want it. Said Diaz. Everyone clears out. Cruel clambers for position on the mark. against Spiegel. Slung for Patricia Gonzalez Navasa. Back in Spiegel's hands. Freezgo's defense doing a good job of pushing them back, but they've got a big gainer there to Ortiz. Now Dorta might put some air underneath it, putting the blade to the layout, and he just about kept it up. Sergio Diaz takes Guayota to half on serve at 7-6.
What a way to take half. Sergio Diaz throwing himself around out there. A clean hole for Guayota. They feel like if you give them the brick mark, they're probably going to score it. It's going to take a huge effort to break the Scudder side. Both teams one break apiece, so we're on serve for the time being.
Yeah, we are having half-time now, even if it doesn't look like it, because with the shorter 45-minute breaks, it is just a mirrored half. There's no stoppage in the middle like you might have, say, on grass. There's the layout from Sergio Diaz Puerta. Would have been so easy to ground strip himself on the landing, but he held firm. As Guayota holding firm to take half on serve. Hello to everyone watching back home here, live on the ULTI.TV YouTube channel. We see you, we feel you, you appreciate you, all of the love and support coming in for both these sides. It is an absolute cracker. Margarita Mixed still with the edge in the other semi, leading 6-5.
The cries of Vamos Guayota ringing out both in the stands and the live chat. Over 1,000 viewers watching now on YouTube. As Benji said, thanks so much for joining us. Please share this game with everyone, with as much people watching as possible. This is going to be a semi-final to remember, I guarantee you that.
We were spoilt for choice. Whichever semi we picked, we know we'd get a good one.
Well, there's going to be some islanders in the final, where it's the island of Boracay, Ireland, Tenerife. We're going to see some representation there for the island folk.
So second half beginning now with Freezgo on offense. Case Mate with that en passant cut slashing up the line. Lachi, stutter step, still wants the line. The disc swung to Eva Bronno. Was a huge part of Moon Cup's run to the EUCF final. Eva Bronno again with the offhand to Zoe Forget. Dishing back to her brother Enzo. That is a pick, and that is going to stop us temporarily. See the hand signal there with the arms outstretched, elbows at right angles, fists closed. Mate now wants a bit of throw and go action with Lachi. Well covered, so Lachi breaks around. Eva Borno with a delicious backhand to Zoe Forget. The second half picking up right where the first left off.
Freezgo stretching Guayota like a slinky there, going all the way around the house, finding the space on the far sideline. Just very little to separate these two sides at the moment. Both of them undefeated coming into this game. That won't be the case in a few minutes' time. Who can hold on?
One of these juggernauts has to fall. It's almost like looking at an old school kaiju film with these two enormous monsters towering over the field. Eva Borno has the disc in hand to pull.
They've been doing double duty at times, the Borno sisters.
And as good as the Freezgo roster is, you get it. Both already World Games players. If they don't make the squad for Chengdu, I will be mighty surprised. Spiegel to Dorta. Rocking the tank top. Cadetero marching underneath. Oh, it's overshot and there's no potential of recovery. Freezgo can edge on top again. Lisson Borno will pick up. Eva up the line, no, instead around to Ruel. Ruel desperately trying to get something cooking with his arm. That's expansive, that's dicey, and Carretero has zero time for it.
She silences the French as they look for that break opportunity.
Spiegel breaking down the line. Carretero is on fire at the moment. Bertrand gets back into position as she pings it into the center for Dorta. Dorta to the end zone for Marta Ortiz. Was there ever any doubt? Her third goal of the game.
The Guayota O-line turn it over, but they fight to get it back. Felt that was a big opportunity for Freezgo. Short field as well, but so fast. The female matching players for Guayota.
There is how Freezgo seeded it back. It always felt like a spurious option. Just hung it up there. Carretero stole a march, and then Ortiz stole to the back of the end zone.
Ortiz taking a much needed sip of water. Have to put on the jet boosters. Things heating up here.
She doesn't even look tired.
Staying hydrated nonetheless.
It's been, it's a little bit cooler than it was earlier. The heat of the day has dissipated somewhat. There's a little bit of a breeze now and some cloud cover, but staying 100% is so important as the pool takes the edge at the back of the end zone and stays in bounds. We know Freezgo love the deep game. At the moment, though, they're just restraining themselves somewhat. Forget gets an angle. Pichard wants to go deep. It feels like he always wants to go deep. Enzo Forget zings it to Pichard. Pichard has Lachi one-on-one. But instead, he's going to wait and just toss the break backhand to her. Threatening the quick release. Matisse steals a step in the backfield. Nice grab there made by Lachi. Lachi to Forget. Pichard one-on-one. Blade to the back corner, overdone, and Forget looks up in frustration because the option was there, but he put too much sauce on it.
That's not the first one they've overcooked. Freezgo. Forget would love to get that one back. Feel just not enough touch on that throw. Always favorite Pichard if you give him a chance to catch it, but that one uncatchable. So will it be Gabaldoni to try and march this the whole way up the field for a break?
Guayota have never been one break up. There's only been one break apiece. Freezgo got it first, and then Guayota answered. Down the line, Gonzalez. Mate bids, but it wasn't there. And now Forget bids and steal it away. It wouldn't surprise me to see a foul call here, and indeed it comes. Felt like both those bids had a fair amount of contact in them.
Yeah, definitely some contact on the play. Discussion now about who initiated it. Any thoughts on that one, Benji?
I mean, Forget does have a phenomenal wingspan. It looks like I've got mixed hand signals there, but in the end, contested foul looks like the result.
Yeah, Forget was liking the thoughts of someone in the grandstand, but often the crowd almost like a Coliseum crowd and
baying for blood. No crowd ever has ever liked any call, regardless of its validity. And as people who have been in ultimate crowds, I'm sure you agree. That one hates sand, or at least I thought it might have done, but somehow it's just about kept alive. Gabaldoni. Guayota meters away from glory, and they have it with the break. The simplest of backhands to Oscar Gonzalez. 9-7 Guayota.
Oscar Gonzalez, a character you all know from CFC, has the fancy footwork on sand. He's a speed demon on the beaches. They look to isolate him outside the end zone. This D-line offense is thrown up into space, and he is pumped up right now. The stars aligning for Guayota at the moment. They get that big break in the latter stages of this game and take a 2-point lead for the first time.
It's a position that Freezgo have not found themselves in yet this game. But it is a position they have found themselves in this tournament, because if we think back to the Boracay game, it was 9-7 game to 10, and we all know what happened there. The first part of the equation for Freezgo is to make sure they get the offensive hold in. Can't let Guayota continue to build ahead of steam.
And they cross over Roger, an experienced handler, now on the O-line to try and settle things.
Running a little bit of give-go. Lepezanek streaking across the field, the 16-year-old. He caught the game-winning goal in that Universe Point victory over Boracay. Swung all the way across the field. Mate has plenty of room to work with. Cruel also crossed over to Borno. Back to the visored Simon Cruel. Now Mate. Oh, that's squeaky, it's popped up! And Guayota will get another break chance. I could see that Mickey Jimenez was already thinking about calling a timeout here, but no, instead they are going to get it in play. The zinged blade downfield. The deep shot could come, not just yet. Mate trying to make himself big on the mark. It's just swung. And now streaks to the open side. Mikey Jimenez. Roger slipped as he was defending. Was caught regardless. Now they're a few yards away. Trying to power up the line. I'm surprised they forced it, and that is why, because Simon Ruel was in the area and Guayota had not learned their lesson.
Backs to the wall, and Freezgo come out punching Ruel. Shuts the door at the last second.
I would not be putting that up in that situation. But when you're feeling the heat and you see the glory there, I totally get why you would. But whenever Simon Ruel's lurking, I'd think twice. Borno can't access the big break shot to Ruel. Still rising. Finds Lepezanek. He's got the big one wide open to Ruel. This is going to float and hang, and position stolen. But Ruel just saying, I think there was contact afterwards, but no call, it seems. Turnover stands.
That one hanging up yet again. That's how they turned over last time. That one that drifted over Roger's head. Ruel found himself having to wait patiently for that one to come down, and it looks like there is a foul call. They're discussing it for a while now anyway. Looks like it is an accepted foul.
So it will be Cruel's disc. Good, productive, spirited discussions there. Alberto Sanchez will check in. Mate practically screaming for it and gets it. Now Lepezanek sees Borno, pulls the trigger. What a throw from, lest I remind you, 16-year-old Gaetan Lepezanek. She is the truth and the future is now.
Fearless throw from the youngster going upwind. Can't wait to see that one again. Grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and just launches a big old buttery biscuit to Borno, who runs it down with ease. I should have said Pala.
It is Borno. They're both wearing 13, don't worry. Why they would do that, I can't tell you. But that is an absolute money huck from Le Pézanec in such a crucial situation to be able to deliver like that. Speaks so much about the character and the fearlessness. Guayota, though, still with a 1-break advantage. Not sure that Forget times that run off the pool, and indeed offside is signalled. It's a fair cop.
And Borno is staying out there. Just pulled the disc after scoring the last point. She wants more.
I just want to point out how punishing that offside is, because the disc finished right at the back of the end zone, but it's all for naught because they couldn't time it properly.
That's a swing of about 30 meters.
And when you're at the back of the end zone, of course, you can't dump it backwards because there is no backwards. And when you're in your end zone, it's true that you do feel that pressure tick up more. That's not there. Forget with a clean run through. And now Enzo will pick up where Zoe left off. Simon Ruel collects the forehand. Looking at the end zone, doesn't want it. Trying to run some throw and go motion with Forget. Nice switch passed off there by Guayota's O-line. High catch well stuck by Lisson Borno. 2 sets of siblings on this line, and Simon Ruel for good measure too. Bit of leapfrog in the backfield. Ruel tries to squeeze his way up line. Forget tried to crane it around. It wasn't completed, but it seems like there was contact on the mark.
Forget trying to use that big pivot to get around the mark. Discussion now about a foul call. Didn't look like it came out of his hands just right, but
take these. Like this? Like this? Yeah. And when I go here, I feel your
Can you send a replay?
I stay in my place and before I contest. Yeah. Okay, first contest.
Contested foul will stay with Forget. Forget this time going to Borno in the backfield before getting it back, slashing. No, he doesn't want Borno on that occasion. Instead, going to put some space with the voluptuous inside-out flick onto Simon Ruel. Freezgo break back at the first time of asking. We're on serve, 9 apiece. Cap just about to go on. It'll be a game to 11.
Forget gets it back and finds Ruel on this time of asking. Wasn't a huge amount of contact there in the pivot, but a contested foul means went back and they punch it in Freezgo. And for the neutrals, this is what you want. An exceptional game of beach ultimate. Forget using those big old spaghetti arms to swat that one away.
It's 9-all here, and it's 9-all in the other semi-final as well. This is going to be, whoever makes it, a sensational final, as the time cap has just gone, so it will, confirmation, be game 2-11.
This mixed division has lived up to the hype here. So many good teams, only 2 can make it to the final.
Diaz, excuse me, now to Spiegel. Spiegel to Carretero. Just able to get enough angle to get it past Lisson Borno, who's staying out there, as is Sister Reva. Forget bids. And the disc might come back. I wonder if there's contact somewhere. Stall out, retracted, turnover stands. It seems is the call. At least that's what the hand signals told me.
Did look like it was going to be a turnover either way, so a chance to break twice in a row.
Yeah, get their noses in front. It would mean that they would receive on Universe points should we get there. Quentin Roger picks up. Looks like he's set up as a righty this time. Air underneath it in the backfield to Forget. Forget now to Lisson Bourneau. Roger tight on the sideline. Taps the toe in bounds, did he? There's an out call.
Definitely exaggerated which foot landed first.
It looked keen enough from my initial instinct.
People in the grandstand asking for VAR. Hard to tell on that far sideline, but looked into me in both real time and on the replay.
And that's what they agree as Forget collects the reset. Goes back to Roger. Oh, Forget with go-go gadget extension arms. And now the stool might be ticking up, but he stays calm and resets to Eva Bourneau. Le Pezanek. No, one sister to the other. Eva to Lisson. Roger takes the veteran timeout call. You get one a game, and Crash decides that the time for the timeout is now. I think this is a savvy usage.
Yeah, I think everyone needs a breather here. My heart is in my mouth right now for both sides. You feel neither deserve to lose this, but only one could come out victorious. Quentin Roger almost threw it away, but Forget rescued it. Two different generations combining here.
It is so tight. Which way will it go? Freezgo 9, Guayota 9, mixed semi-final from the first ever World Beach Ultimate Club Championships. Don't go away. Told you not to go away. Hopefully you did not. 9-9. Freezgo with a chance to take a crucial late break and take a 10-9 edge, which is also the score in the other semi-final. Margarita up 10-9 on Boracay in a game to 11. And it's game to 11 over here as well.
And the excitement has been turned up to 11, Benji.
Le Pezanek thought she might try and squeeze that down the line, but she knows better. Oh, the expansive space throw towards that side, gobbled away by Sergio Diaz. Just too much sit on it for Enzo Forget, and he's now got to scramble to get back into position here. Spiegel bids, and it's too far. It's the first time all game that a side's turned it over on multiple occasions. Forget cutting the tension with a knife, you could cut it with a spoon.
Everyone on the edge of their seats here thought Roger was going to send it.
I think so did Forget. It's Bourneau to send it instead, looking for Le Pezanek, but Le Pezanek had planted to come under, and Carretero had it covered. I think that is partly the tension.
I think tension and tiredness creeping into this point as we see a multi-turn point. Some shouting and dancing in the grandstand from what seems to be the Spanish supporters.
The other semi-finals gone to Universe. Will we get the same?
You can see people at the back of the grandstand looking to go the dual screen action. That is the Margarita Mix Borgay gaming happening behind the grandstand.
The first pass for Guayota is just a swing. Nice switch pass between the Borno sisters. That one has surely too much juice on it. I back Patricia Gonzalez Navasa, but that asked an awful amount of her, but with everything looking static, again, I think that's playing some field position from Sebastian Spiegel.
After both sides being so clinical all game long, nobody wants to score at this point.
It's amazing what happens when all of a sudden there's an end point. Before that happens, everyone stays calm, but as soon as you get close to the finish line, everything just gets so much more pressurized.
Pressure is for Tires as Forget has a disc in his own end zone.
Roger jacking it with the left hand. I'm not sure about the edge on this one. There's going to be a chase required from Lisson Borno, and she can only tip it around the post.
Roger fakes the righty throw, turns around and throws a lefty backhand. You gotta love it. Looked like it was going out of bounds, but crept back in, and she could have caught that. Yeah, you gotta see that. You just love it.
Unreal.
Shakespeare couldn't write a script as good as this one. Oh, she went for the clap catch layout, punches the sand in frustration. This point just keeps on giving, Benji.
Carretero sliding on the sand. Sneaks the break there to Diaz. Now wide to the far side. Carretero with a bit of loft, finding Spiegel. They've got a one-on-one in the end zone. Now the fill comes from Sergio Diaz. And Guayota edge in front, 10-9. It's not Universe yet, but that still feels like a crushing blow for Guayota, as Freezgo had 3 shots at the break and they couldn't convert.
Guayota kept their legs. Looked like they were running on empty there, but as we see, Diaz had a second fuel tank, and Forget almost had to give up on that one. They looked so tired, all 10 players on the line. You see Diaz, Forget realized he was burnt, and they'll be ruining that opportunity, a chance to break for the lead in the most crucial of moments. Who is going to be in that final, Benji? Who's going to make it to the ultimate Garden of Eden?
Guayota will be the favourites just because they will receive on a potential Universe point and because they can prevent it from ever getting there.
What a show both teams putting on for us here, Benji. A game for the ages.
And a pull for the ages as well. I mean, that is inch perfect. Tiffaine Lachi looks a little bit marooned before Forget comes under. Ruel slashing across, collecting the blade. Pechard's going to tape off deep. I'm sure Ruel thought about it, but Pechard bailed out to come under. Zoe Forget sees and spears to Ruel. Ruel curling it to Canton Pechard. Came off with a bloody nose earlier. Good to see him back out there. Lachi finds Forget. Couple of players take off. Ruel under. Freezgo content to stay calm, stay patient so far. Little toss back to Lachi, and that is going to be a pick. Deep breaths, everyone.
Freezgo playing exceptionally well to work it out from the back of their end zone, unfazed by this pressure situation.
Looking up the line, this is going to float. Simon Ruel takes it to Universe in outstanding fashion.
Ruel, he's just too good for this game. You cannot overthrow that man. Squats down. We'll see if he goes back out there for Universe point. Lachi embraces the big man.
It's honestly so nervy out here Both sides 1 point away from a final and the potential opportunity to crown themselves world champions. There's the layout from Cruel, superb with his offhand to boot. The task awaiting them for whoever gets there. Spoiler alert, fingers in your ears if you don't want to know. Margarita mixed on Universe. For Freezgo, they beat them in the first game of the tournament.
Margarita Mix have lost to both of these teams.
They have.
And find themselves in the final.
And so whichever side gets there must really fancy their chances. They won't necessarily know that yet. But here's the pull coming from Enzo Forget. Almost vertical by the time it comes down. 3 male matching players. Swung to Spiegel. Diaz takes off. He doesn't want it. Forget bids. Carretero. Eva Borno gonna try and pass that switch off. Quentin Roger gets an awful lot of Sergio Diaz there.
Yeah, going for the 2-footed slide tackle. Bit unorthodox in Beach Ultimate. Not sure that's what Roger intended. An accepted foul, unsurprisingly.
There's the shot to Carretero. Can she get there? No, not quite. It was millimeters. Scarcely a grain of sand away. When Freezgo broke Boracay to win on Universe, both sides had multiple possessions as well. And we're seeing it again. Enzo Forget will pick up. Quentin Roger on the far sideline as a reset. 3 downfield. Eva Borno central. Zoe Forget far sideline. Simon Ruel near sideline. Roger Ruel wanted the deep shot. Eva Borno just playing the short game, poaching to stop the deep shot. Roger. Pick called.
You feel like there could be a few more twists and turns in this Universe point.
It's a good job I'm not wearing a heart rate monitor at the moment, because I can't imagine it would be telling me good things. Can't imagine how it feels for players out there.
You can hear their hearts beating from here.
Are you sure that's theirs and not yours?
Didn't see the pick there myself, but Forget will retain.
And goes back to crash in the backfield. Roger thought about the blade. Now Stool's ticking up. Squeezes it to Borno. That's superbly handled. Enzo Forget. Roger shuttles and scuttles. Going with the scuba to Simon Ruel. Freezgo in the finals. They break Guayota to win on Universe. What a game!
Roger with the sugar-coated scuba to win it. It took a bit of French flair, the confidence, the swagger. They're going to the final. Heartbreak for Guayota. They played so well. They're such a good Beach Ultimate team.
They are almost the European Beach Ultimate team. But it was not to be. So much young talent on this roster, but sometimes you need a little extra special something that Crash can provide. Quentin Roger with the devilish scuba, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And it is Freezgo in the finals for a rematch against Margarita Mixed.
It was a rematch of their first game of the tournament where
Freezgo
caught them on the hop. Hard to beat a team twice, though.
They do say that, and you see him flip the grip. He's thinking about it. They know it's coming. They just could not stop it. Ruel had been suspiciously absent on that possession, just waiting, biding his time, and then he springs like a cobra for the coiled scuba. And Simon Ruel with the final catch for glory.
It is a rule of Beach Ultimate. It has to be an upside-down throw to win and get away to the final. That's right, Benji, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not against it. we'll posit that one to Patrick and Sophia. Not sure whether they'll take it.
Roger, you spice merchant, had that incredible backhand where he faked righty through it lefty.
I've forgotten about that. There's the story of the game for you. Guayota, in the end, generated themselves so many more break chances. But in the end, it was Freezgo. Actually, those stats a little bit flipped for you. It's Freezgo who generated more break chances. In the end, it's just the little bit of extra cleanliness in the conversions. They were slightly cleaner on offense as well. Whoever won, you can't say they didn't deserve it.
You feel like all 4 teams that made it to the semi-finals are probably deserving a gold medal, but you can only hand it to one, and it was Freezgo who came out on top today. Felt it could have gone either way. If you play this game 10 times, I think both teams win it 5 times each.
Yeah, there's going to be a very good team that is going home empty-handed tomorrow, because we've got Boracay Guayota in the bronze medal match. That's frankly ludicrous. I know Steph has been keen to get in amongst things down at pitch side, and he's wrangled one of his old charges. He's with Simon Ruel.
Simon, congratulations, first of all. Game-winning goal. Tell me what you were thinking when Quentin Roger put a scuba in the air, and tell us about that last moment.
I know Quentin, and I know he can do everything with the disc, so I just run and think, oh, it's beautiful, we win it.
And the feelings right now winning this game, how's your heartbeat?
I don't know. I don't have the word. Guayota is the best team I ever seen in the beach, so I can't explain how it's too beautiful to beat them on the sand. And congrats of everybody seeing the game, and thanks to my family and the team. It's beautiful.
Speaking of the team, you've been playing around. You played with Isno, you played with Chak, you move around. Blois, this is your home club. What's it like to come back to your home club, get this win with a lot of the people you started playing with, the young club? Talk about the home team for you.
It's beautiful because we build the team together, and we have a lot of young players in the team, and it's really cool to can play with the young guy I coach like 3 or 5 years. It's amazing.
And I already told you that the other semi-final finished. You guys have Margarita Mixed tomorrow. What are your thoughts, early thoughts? I know you still need time to celebrate, but early thoughts about playing the final tomorrow against Margarita Mixed.
Really happy to can make a rematch against them, and I can wait. Really looking forward, and I'm happy.
Listen, we're going to let Simon get back with his team, go celebrate for now. We'll hope for more excitement tomorrow. Congratulations, mister. Job well done.
Thank you. See you.
Go.
I mean, you heard it there from Simon Ruel. They beat the best team on the beach. Guayota are almost the beach team to beat, and they know how monumental an occasion this was for them to win a enormous stonker of a game. And Simon Ruel was hardly bad in that one either. I still can't believe, genuinely, if you aimed for that, I don't think you could hit that.
Looks like the pink disc was benched for a little bit of that game. They picked up the white disc for a while, but back to the pink disc as we had such an exceptional game, Benji.
I mean, both sides had enormous plays, and it really felt like it was a flip of a coin as to who came out on top. Both sides happy to shoot deep when it was required. They could play the quick game underneath. That was ludicrous, frankly, from Zoe Forget. But for so much of this, it was in the balance, and from the start, it almost felt like it would be a big play here or there, maybe no bigger than that. The ludicrous greatest from Mati Abraham, his only stat of the game, the only one he really needs.
Yeah, I'd already forgotten about that greatest. So many twists and turns in this game. Freezgo was the one that rode the lightning the best. Guayota, they played such good ultimate, but just couldn't hang on in the end. Big plays like that from Ruel silenced the Canarians.
And Guayota, try as they might, just couldn't get it done. And the scuba from Quentin Roger to end it. For Liam Grant, I've been Benji Reese. We will see Freezgo against Margarita Mix in the final tomorrow, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.